It feels pretty special. What have you made of Conor's energy so far?
I love what I see. Totally different this time. I mean, at this point last week, we were keeping him calm. You know, he was definitely nervous going into the fight. We probably underestimated the magnitude of the event. The event itself was so special. The fight was so special. And I think as a young fighter, what he would have learned from that night and how he would improve will come to light on Saturday night. I think we're going to get another tremendous spectacle. Both these guys are tremendously tough. Both these guys won't give an inch. Both these guys are desperate to win, and that's why you're going to get another classic on Saturday night. But what I see from Conor Benn this time is a mature fighter, someone who's had that experience now. The body looks completely different up at 160, and that was the first tough fight he's been in, and he wants more, and he's got so much more in the tank. This tank's nowhere near empty. The trenches have only just been visited for the first time. He wants more trenches, he wants more pain, he wants more volatility, and he's ready to do whatever it takes to win on Saturday night. And you've got two warriors in there ready to put it on the line. You're going to see another classic fight.
Here we are again, huh? Look at what? Slim around the cheekbones. Yeah, I'm slightly hoping you miss weight.
We're doing the weight a little bit different this time. We can't give you another Rolls.
I am slightly hoping you miss weight again. Just a little bit.
Only one Rolls Royce for you. Only one.
Just a pound. Just a little bit. That'd be nice. Nice little gift from you last time round. I'm hoping you're well recovered. And you got 10 toes, 10 toenails.
Right, facing the camera, boys. Make this big colour. Chris, up to the top, up here, that's it, both, yeah. That's it, great, Chris. Last one, that's it, perfect. Brilliant. Thank you.
Did you guys like those videos? I mean, that was some intense stuff. I mean, look, we're in fight week, guys. It's fight week again. I love this. Every week it's fight week, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. Chris Eubank Jr. taking on Conor Benn. Part 2, guys. Absolutely crazy. I mean, this is the latest installment of the Eubank Benn rivalry, and I mean, here you had Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn seeing each other face to face for a second time. This rematch between these two is going to take place this Saturday, November 15th in London. And guys, it's unbelievable, right? I mean, you also have Rafael Espinoza. He's going to be taking on Arnold Kejai in Mexico. You got Jack Della Maddalena taking on Islam Makhachev in UFC 322. That's going to be happening in New York. And additionally, Josh Dyer is going to be meeting Lorenzo Hunt in a bare knuckle rematch headlining BKFC 84 in the Palm Desert in California. Guys, I'm a big fan of bare knuckle fighting. I mean, who doesn't like bare knuckle fighting? I remember when Paul Malignaggi took on Tyler Goodjohn. That was incredible. That was BKB 47. And I mean, wow. I mean, 44 years old, Paulie can still fight, man. He's absolutely incredible. Anyhow, there's a that just goes to show there's just so much going on, so many fights happening, and it's absolutely incredible. But the fight that everyone wants to talk about right now, the reason why we're here, we're talking about Chris Eubank Jr. taking on Conor Benn. Obviously, it's titled as Unfinished Business, right? Redemption or repeat. I mean, this is kind of where we're going at. There's mind games, guys. There's weight management, weight cuts. There's all kinds of stuff being said about one another, all kinds of trash talking between the camps. The rivalry is heating up. And when you got two of the pound for pound, probably unbelievable fighters stepping into the ring for the second time, highly anticipated rematch. This is what fans have been wanting for quite some time. This is what the promoters have been wanting for quite some time. It's a win-win all around, guys, and it's happening in London. And guys, Look, Eubank Jr. at 36 years old is going to be riding that momentum, like Terence Crawford, who's 38, turning 39, Alex Pereira, 38, turning 39, Neil Magny, who's a veteran, who's also up there in age. All these guys who are creeping up there in age are killing it. They're doing absolutely incredible. And so, can the same happen? Yeah, I think the same can happen. I mean, it's going to be absolutely crazy, guys. I want to talk a little bit about the build up, the training camps, the mental warfare that's kind of going on, and really, really what's at stake here, guys. But before I do that, please make sure, if this is your first time, to smash the like and subscribe here on Duality 7X. We do a lot of real fight talk, raw, unadulterated, unfiltered. We talk a lot of fight predictions, breakdowns, and some of the biggest stories that are happening in the world of combat sports, MMA, UFC, WWE, and boxing. So I'm glad that you guys are here, and I love the comments that are coming in, guys. I try to respond to all the comments. Man, it's absolutely incredible. You guys are probably some of the smartest viewers on YouTube. There's been some good back and forth with some of my recent videos, especially with Khamzat Chimaev taking on Alex, or wanting to take on Alex Pereira and Alex Pereira's coach Glover Teixeira, at the same time. And so there's been some amazing comments that have been coming through. So I really enjoy reading them. But look, let's talk Eubank Ben Part 2, guys. This is going to be incredible. It's going to happen at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it's UK boxing on Dashin Boxing. It's middleweight bout. So for those of you wanting to know which weight class division this is, and it's unbelievable. Did you guys know that Bo McIntyre, okay, who happens to be the coach for Terence Crawford, has joined Eubank Jr.'s camp? So that's interesting. He's getting a little bit of, and I'll talk a little bit about that as well too, right? So, I mean, it's amazing because when you look at both of these fighters, right, they're the sons of two British boxing legends, right? And for them to come back in this rematch, and before before it was kind of like, okay, we had a great fight, now we're gonna set up a rematch, and those rematches were done like right away. They were, in a sense, that they were scheduled and ready to go, and but now it seems like there is a layer of effort and complexity when it comes to putting these matches together, and there's a lot of complexity, honestly, like especially when you're talking about fighters, you're talking about their availability, their time, their training, and all the things that kind of go into prepping for these guys to get to where they need to get to fight at that optimum level where they want to, where you want to see your fighters. You want to see these guys perform at a very, very high level. It's not good when these guys come in, underweight or malnourished, or you could tell that a fighter is off, and a lot of that really comes down to how they were weight cutting for a fight. And I'm telling you, I say this all the time, weight cutting is probably one of the most hardest things for any fighter to go through. It's a lot of burden. It's a lot of stress on the body. There's a lot of illnesses that can come out of it. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. And a lot of people sometimes don't even recover from that, and it's really unfortunate. But anyway, so I mean, we're talking about like a lot of personal jabs between these two fighters. It's really personal, honestly. Eubank Jr. won the first fight, and now here they are in the rematch. And look, a $10 million payday to kind of sweeten the pot a little bit. I mean, yeah, this is a big deal, guys, right? So the question comes down to is, will Ben actually get his redemption, or will Eubank Jr. prove again, or once again, that he is, he is the better of the two fighters, and that his experience is going to carry him forward to victory. So let's see if you can try to break this down, guys, right? So, I mean, here's the deal. Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, they've they've been going at it a lot on social media. So, I mean, there's no love lost between these two guys, right? And I mean, this Saturday, November 15th, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is ultimately going to decide who comes out as victor. There's no, I mean, these guys, it's gonna be a slugfest. All right, it's gonna be pure chaos. There's gonna be fireworks galore. You don't want to miss a beat. All right, these guys are not coming here to have tea and to, just kind of do a little bit of light sparring. They're gonna lay it all on the line. All right. And I mean, you have to understand, like, from Eubank's perspective, I mean, he walked away with the unanimous decision win against Conor Benn. The first time around, it was 116 to 112 across the board. And so and that was a fight. That was a brutal, brutal fight, guys. I mean, now Ben obviously wasn't happy about that loss. I mean, who would be, right? No fighter would be happy to lose like that. I mean, so this fight is very, very personal. And it's not just personal for Conor Benn Jr., but it's personal for Eubank Jr. as well, too. Conor Benn Jr.'s, Conor Benn's dad is Nigel Benn, and, who lost that legendary rivalry to Eubank Sr., okay, about 30-some years ago. So there's a lot of personal connotations associated with this fight. It's not like we're just seeing a rematch between Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn Jr. Remember, their dads fought, okay? Professional fighters once before as well, too. They fought some 3 decades ago. And so this is personal. Again, there's not only is there no love lost between these two guys, there's no love lost between the families, all right? So here we're talking about, it's not just a big payday here. That's fantastic. 10 million bones is great. But we're talking about legacy. We're talking about revenge. We're talking about redemption. All 3 of these guys are on the line. This is absolutely going to be an incredible and very, very important fight. You can already see it in both of these guys' energy. And especially look at Ben. He's just fired up. He's emotional. And look, maybe he's just a little too emotional, but a lot's riding on this, guys. There's a lot, and the both fighters are going to try to do everything they can to get in there and to get out alive. Okay, so I mean, Eubank Jr. has been playing chess while Ben's still kind of swinging checkers. I mean, who knows, right? From interviews to pressers, I mean, it's getting real, guys. I mean, and all of this is getting inside Ben's head. Right. I mean, Eubank is just so cool, calm, and collected. He's got that little smirk, slow talk, very, very confident. Meanwhile, Ben's just been getting heated. He's emotional, a little bit of a hothead, you want to say, even close to tears in a few interviews, right? So, I mean, that tells me that Eubank's already potentially won the mental game, right, going into fight week. But, I mean, look, this is... if you go back to like the first fight between these two guys, I mean, Ben fought really angry, right? He loaded up on every punch, just really trying to capitalize on each punch, each momentum shift. And, he was trying to knock off Eubank's head. I mean, pure, plain and simple. And obviously it didn't work. Eubank outboxed him. He outclassed him. He outlasted him. And he made him pay for every one of those mistakes. It was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But if you noticed, Eubank looked like he was sticking to a game plan. He was sticking to his strategy, right? Whereas it did seem like Conor Benn had a game plan, obviously, going into this fight, but you could tell that his emotions took overbested him at times. And there were moments where it looked like he was following a game plan, and then he would quickly switch it up and do something completely different, most likely because Eubank Jr. was getting in his head, and Conor Benn, it was getting to Conor Benn. He was reacting. He was getting aggressive. He was getting heated. And that could have probably also played in Eubank Jr.'s favor, right? So what's different this time? Well, we're hearing from Eddie Hearns, his promoter, that Eubank Jr. does seem a lot more calmer, collected. He's doing all the right things, especially in the gym, especially with his training and his nutrition. And it seems like he's going to do everything he can to block Eubank Jr. from getting in his head. I don't know if that's 100% accurate because it seems like he's already in his head right now. But I mean, Ben does look like a different guy. He doesn't look as wild and aggressive as he was before. So he has subsequently, I wouldn't call it matured, but he does seem a little bit more calmer, understanding what's at stake here, understanding, the mistakes that he made of past. He doesn't want to repeat those. So that makes sense, right? And so where it gets really interesting, I mean, Eubank Jr.'s got, I was just talking about this, guys, but he's got Bo McIntyre. Why is this a big deal? Because Bo McIntyre is the coach for Terence Crawford, and he's in Eubank Jr.'s corner. He's been training him and helping with this training. And I mean, guys, if everyone knows, like, Terence Crawford with this unbelievable win over Canelo Alvarez, I mean, a lot of that comes down to Bo McIntyre, like for what Bo Mac was able to do and with this fighter and getting him to the point where, I mean, if you watch that fight, Terence Crawford wasn't phased at all. Even there was moments and shades of brilliance from Canelo Alvarez and just landing some heavy bombs on Crawford. Crawford stuck to his game plan. And a lot of that you got to thank his coach for, right? I mean, that's a major, major upgrade to have somebody of his caliber in your camp. So, I mean, you add that with Eubank Jr.'s experience, and I mean, now you've got a world, got a global icon of a coach, in your camp. I mean, that's purely strategic, and honestly, those are some of the best kind of ingredients that you need for a winning recipe. So Ben, on the other hand, he does seem a lot more focused, right? And he's not falling for all those mind games that Eubank Jr. is known for. And he said himself, he's not buying it, right? I mean, he looks like he's still got that chip on his shoulder. He's got that cockiness about him. He's got that swagger a little bit. I mean, it's good though, but I'm worried that Ben's still kind of, reacting a little too much emotionally when it comes to this fight against him and Eubank Jr. And the last thing you want to do is to make the same kind of mistakes that you did the last time, right? I mean, it's simple as that. You have to stay away from it, right? So, I mean, what if Conor Benn actually channels all of that emotion and turns it into discipline and timing, right? What if he's learned to stay patient? Could this be an opportunity for Conor Benn to potentially outwork Eubank Jr., especially considering that Eubank Jr. is kind of getting up there in age and, with weight cutting, it's a lot harder for older guys to weight cut, honestly. It does take a lot more toll on them. So that could also play into, Conor Benn's favor a little bit. I mean, either way, this isn't a fight about just two fighters. There's a lot of family pride and personal legacy on the line. Who gets the last laugh in, probably one of the most iconic rivalries, especially not only in the sport of boxing, but in British boxing, right? There's a lot of people a lot of British UK boxing fans that are all over this story. But look, I mean, just the world of boxing alone. I mean, yeah, we live here in North America, but we're reading and hearing all about this stuff. We're just as jazzed and excited about this fight as anybody in the UK is, believe me, all right? So, I mean, I love what Eddie Hearns, and I love his camp, and I love everything that these guys do, their promotions, and Conor Benn. I'm just really, really super proud about hearing how he's made some necessary adjustments in his training style and in his whole training altogether, which is, makes me kind of happy. But there's a part of me that thinks Eubank Jr. might squeak through with this one. I mean, he's just way too composed, way too relaxed out there, a little bit scary kind of. But that experience, and then you couple that with Bo Mac in his corner. I just don't see him falling apart. I mean, then again, Conor Benn could surprise us all, and I wouldn't be surprised, no pun intended, if that actually happens. I mean, if he shows up completely calm and controlled and starts to take over this fight and dominate for, comes out of the gate strong and maintains that throughout the fight, I think Eubank Jr. could be in trouble, right? We might really see another war, another battle ensue between these two guys. That, for one, I know for sure is going to happen. For me, the deciding factor will be that 160-pound weight limit and that 10-pound rehydration rule. If you guys know anything about this, guys, I mean, here's a problem. If that drains Eubank too much, Ben might finally have his shot. Remember, this weight cutting thing is, I think, going to go a lot more in favor for Conor Benn than it is going to be for Eubank Jr. You could even tell that Eubank Jr. does look a little gray, a little tired, at times. But then again, these guys have a lot of pressers and media spots and all kinds of things that these guys have to do constantly, continuously throughout the week as it leads up to the big fight. It does take a lot out of you when these guys really shouldn't be doing a lot of that stuff. They should be spending more time in the gym and just relaxing and getting ready mentally for this fight, right? But yeah, the weight cutting, you could tell, does look like it's taking a little bit of a toll on Eubank Jr. more so than it is on Conor Benn, right? So, I mean, I don't know. That's just my take. I don't know what you guys think. Does Ben finally get revenge here, or does Eubank prove that he's still the better man? Drop your prediction in comments below, guys. If I talk about it all the times, guys, and, I know this fight for sure. This fight is going to be pure fireworks. Don't blink for a second. All right. This is a generational rivalry match that is going to create so many storylines after this. It's not even funny. All right. You got to look at, so Chris Eubank Jr., he's 36 years old. He's the tail of the tape. He's 5'11". He's got a 72.5-inch reach. He's had a total of 38 fights. All right. And his record is 35-3. 25 guys, 25 by way of knockout. Okay? And then you got Conor Benn. He's 7 years younger, okay, than Eubank Jr. He's 5'8", a few inches smaller than Eubank Jr., but he's got a 68-inch reach, and he's got a total of 24 fights. All right, so Eubank Jr. has 14 more fights than Conor Benn, but he's got a record of 23-1 and 14 by way of knockout. Now, Eubank Jr. Is coming into this fight, guys, as a favorite, and he's also avenged his previous losses as well. Against some very, very top British contenders, including Billy Joe Saunders, George Groves, and Liam Smith. So he does look a little bit more polished, and because of that experience, I mean, he's ready to go. Ben is definitely going to look to use his speed. He's very, very tactical. He's got that very quick lightning hands. I mean, and look, he's going to try to create some very openings, and he's going to try to pull Eubank Jr. into certain pockets and then just unload on him. And that's what Conor Benn does, right? So it's going to be absolutely incredible. And on this fight, that's the main card. Then you got Jack Kitterell versus Esko Usman in a welterweight bout. Adam Azim is going to be taking on Kurt Scobie in a super lightweight bout. Richard Bricapori versus Tommy Welch. That's going to be a heavyweight bout. Sam Giller versus Ishmael Davis in a super welterweight for the British and Commonwealth titles, guys. So we're going to see some titles kind of potentially change hands here. And then Mike Talon versus Faizan Shazid in a flyweight bout. So it's going to be absolutely an amazing card. That coupled with UFC 322 with Jack Della Maddalena taking on Islam Makhachev. Guys, it's going to be an unbelievable weekend. I can't wait. So anyhow, guys, that's my take. Totally want to hear your guys' thoughts. If you like and hear what you see, please smash a like and subscribe. Join us here for more fight talk. I'll catch you guys on the next one.